path to destruction. What does it mean to be safe in a marriage? We both know that's not true, because I believe sex is the checkered flag. I'm Cass.
And I'm Kathryn.
How to reconnect after separation. Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast. We are going to get into insecurity. I noticed on our downloads, this is a heavy download. A couple of the podcasts, anything that's about insecurity. And Kathryn and I have a little bit of conflicting opinions on this, so let's get into it. Leave a super awesome review. Send us an email with what you want us to cover. DM us, DM me, Cass Foster Morrow on Instagram. We'll address what you're going through.
We're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage. Hey, it's the MorrowMarriage podcast, and today I want to talk about the path to destruction.
Oh.
Now, I realize I sounded very destructive on the last episode, so I'll be a little more calm for this one. Passionate subject, but this one is important. This one's really important. I'm getting a lot of exposure on my social media. It doesn't always happen. It's up and down. Podcast has been blown up. Thank you guys. Please leave a 5-star review and help us get to more people. We appreciate the support. And thanks for all the fan mail. But I'm getting a lot. I'm getting my website right now. I don't know if it's because of the book, the podcast, everything all at once or whatever, but I am getting so many messages come to the website. And by the way, guys, if you message me, that's me on the chat widget. There are some automated messages, but like if you just send a message, I'm responding. There's nothing automated there, okay? And if you send a message like, need help, I can't fucking help you. I don't know anything about you. You haven't done any training. You haven't even like started to reflect, okay? But I'm getting all these messages, and the amount of men that I start to connect with, start talking with, oh my gosh, honey, they're on the path to destruction. So they want, guys, if you want help, you can't lead with fuck my partner. Meaning, I don't know if I should leave. I can't believe she'd do this to me. I can't believe. It's nothing but resentment, contempt, and blame. I'm getting a lot of people so full of anger and there's so much resentment and contempt that I wanted to do an episode on this because, I mean, you talk about it all the time. Gottman's leading cause of divorce is contempt, you guys. By the way, fun fact.
It's not cheating.
It's not cheating.
Contempt.
Oh, by the way, fun fact, just while I thought about it, porn is cited in 60% of all divorce cases. Just write that down and stop watching. Contempt, leading cause of divorce. And you are on a website using a chat widget, talking about needing help and full of contempt. In what world are you going to save a marriage full of contempt? It is funny when isn't it?
You're just funny today.
I was doing social media content, so I could be fired up.
Yeah, he's very fired up. You guys can probably tell we film a few episodes in a row. So the last 3, he's really been
I didn't
feisty.
think it was the first one, but I feel feisty today. I'm driven by success of the men in the program and everything we're doing, and the level of men that are trying to enter. It's no wonder your life is fucked up.
That's why they need help, though.
I totally get that. And I have 100%
we just need more
empathy
information. You can't just write in and say need help.
No.
Write in and blame your wife.
Well,
you
that
need
part
to want
is for
to move
real.
forward.
That part is for real. But when you start blaming, guys, it doesn't matter if you're writing to the website, if you're listening to the podcast and you want help, if you're reading the book and you're really trying, the moment you start to feel these terrible feelings, the ones that go the wrong direction, you have to pull yourself out of this mess. I wanted to give some help.
Can I give an example first?
Yes.
I used to blame him for all of our problems because it was his fault. But
here it comes. Fuck, I just triggered my wife again.
It was his fault. But get this. So when I stopped blaming him and I looked within myself, ding, 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 that's when our relationship changed. So do I think it was his fault still? I do. But that doesn't mean that that's where you're going to lead from. You can't lead from everything is your fault and you suck and you made our life suck and you destroyed me and you wasted my time. You don't get anywhere good from there. I had to say, okay, I believe it's his fault. I believe that he's got some screwed up stuff in the head. Where did I go wrong? He's laughing now. See, I'm changing the tone of the whole podcast. Where did I go wrong? Where can I take responsibility? And then I was able to take some of that blame away from him, which was still his fault. And when I did that, things changed. So when you write in, even if your wife is cheating, your husband is cheating, it doesn't matter what they did. That's just one of the things we've been talking about today. But whatever, you're full of contempt and bitterness and you have all these feelings, none of that serves you. The only thing that's going to serve you is to be like, okay, Let's detach from all of this pain. Let's detach from the resentment, the bitterness, the contempt, the defensiveness. Detach from all of that and say, okay, who do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who did I lose? Where was I going when I lost myself? How do I go back in that direction and be that person, no matter if you have anger like this guy over here? Just kidding.
You guys can look at it like this, okay? And this came from a mentor of mine that I hired, did a guest speaking for the men in my program, okay? And he simply started the presentation with who here is blaming their wife for something, you know, and he lists off a few examples and a bunch of hands went up and he said, then call a fucking lawyer. Now, we have worked hard not to follow that level because for obvious reasons, we're trying to make sure that you don't call a lawyer.
And we know that you start off blaming and we need to teach you how to stop blaming because that's where the change happens.
But there is some truth to that statement. There's absolutely truth. If you don't like the way your life is and you just want to be mad at your partner, but like, look what she said. So I'm a severe narcissist managing it now, but at the time, fucked up in the head severely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why it's called severe narcissist. Kathryn says, what could I do differently? Now, it's not like I wasn't working, but my changes weren't necessarily there for her. She still needed to do her work. Okay. Now, what could she do differently? Or should she call the lawyer again? She had
keep blaming him.
She could keep blaming and keep saying my life sucks. I keep doing this and that. Then call the fucking lawyer right now. Shut this podcast off and go save your life. Go save your life. If you really can't figure it out and don't want to figure it out, go back to what Kathryn loves to say. It's not that you can't. It's that you don't want to. That's it. Now, you can move past that and go, okay, what do I want? Guys, if I want to laugh, then I can laugh. If my wife doesn't want to laugh, she's having a mood, then I can do something.
What mood?
Like once a year. But if she's distracted, okay, then I can still have that. Okay. Like I was talking to a guy in a call today and he was so, well, butthurt comes to mind. He was so butthurt because he just keeps trying to hit on his wife. He wants to have sex and he's just so like, she just flat out rejects him, repulsed look, like all the stuff we hear all the time. And I was like, dude, and I talked about response versus reaction. I talked about like, who is it that you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? And I talked about filling your own cup and all this stuff. And it led to like, if you said no to me, which is like never, but if you said no to me, it's not the end of the world. It does happen. And when you do, it's like, okay, carry on with life. You want to rub, you want to live a life, you want to have some laughs, we do whatever. And tomorrow it's going to be a great fucking day.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, not that today wasn't a great day, but I mean, sex will happen tomorrow. Like it's okay, you guys. But that's because that's who I want to be. Or you could choose to be angry because she doesn't want you. Mm-hmm. You could choose to be upset because there's disrespect on the level with the children. You could be worried about roles and fighting back and forth. Or you can go, fuck, man, be like Cass. It doesn't matter how much you work. She still wants to be involved. You know, it doesn't matter if you're like Kathryn and you're like, you could be upset, but you're like, you know what? I'd rather just give my husband gratitude. Fuck, you're good at that. Like nonstop gratitude all the time. Right? I'm sure she's not grateful sometimes. I'm sure she's
but like, I'm choosing to show gratitude.
I can't think of anybody more grateful than you.
Oh, thanks, honey.
And the thing is,
because you're a great man.
Well, thanks, baby. But the thing is, I'm not perfect.
Pretty darn close.
You heard it from her. But
it's true.
But I'm not perfect. But that's a choice from her. You know, we spend a lot of time making fun of our stories and having, you know, the animals and showing our life and whatever. We're trying to do better at that for you guys because
everybody wants to see more goats and chickens.
Everybody wants to see it. But we spend a lot of time with that. And there are things that we've talked about recently that could breed contempt. Could breed contempt. So much of it is choice. It's going to always, for me, go back to when I realized that I don't have to be angry every day. When I realized that because I felt happiness for 3 days in a row. Joy is actually the word. And when Kathryn said to me, it's not normal, and I realized, oh, we could be joyful longer. See, you contemptuous people would go, it's not normal, and you'd be all butthurt. Like, there's a really good chance back then that when I said, baby, this is so amazing that we're not fighting. We're fighting every 3 days. This is so cool. And she's like, that's not normal. The old me, she took a gamble with a choice to not be in contempt, knowing that that's not normal, knowing she deserved more than fighting, like being happy, every 3 days. She took a gamble living the way she wanted to live. Likewise, extremely took a gamble because I could have easily been like arms in the air, lost my shit in another 3 day or 1 week anger binge because I would have been like, fuck, you don't appreciate the fucking.
I'm pretty sure that's how it did go. But
I don't remember it that way,
it was
but that's possible.
but it was a long time ago. The first
Yeah.
time that we had fights
Yeah,
on every
that
3
was
days.
like in the first 2 years, the bad years. Like,
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you did. Very animated, throw your arms in the air.
No, I just don't remember it that way at all, because it's so important for me in my story when people want to know. Like, I remember feeling so excited about how good it could feel. It might have been that
it just, your turnaround time was longer back then.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also because that's around the time where I would have realized that at the core mandated anger management, how we were victimizing ourselves, how it was all that anger management didn't work. It was really the realization of victimizing myself, and all of us men that were in there. And so it kind of all coincided. So it's possible that it was all later, but
you did reflect,
yeah,
and you realized, well, it's not normal, but you definitely did have your little snap show.
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, I say this all the time. If you want joy, create joy. If you want to laugh, have fun, go do exciting things. If you want to live a fun, exciting, wonderful, positively dramatic life, then create it for yourself. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I can't because my partner doesn't want to. No, listen, it doesn't matter. If I am not in the mood for something exciting, that's a combination of excitement and exciting. Kathryn is quite fine to go. Last night, I was working more than I should. What did you do? You just picked up some worship and started living life and singing with the kids. And like, did it hurt you that I wasn't with you?
No.
She's still responsible.
I just created my own joy.
Her own joy.
I didn't even think anything of it. I just continued on with life.
But the more you do that, we're good now, but lots of times I would have dropped, like, that would have been enough for you. Like, what am I doing? Drop it and join. And I can do the same thing for Kathryn. You guys need to create your own joy, not rely on your partner. You lead them to what's better than what you have. You must be worth more than not being with them. Meaning, they should want to be with you because that's better than not being with you. You have to be that person if you want more. You can't do that in resentment, bitterness, or contempt. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Nope. What's this episode called again?
The path to destruction.
The path to destruction. So we were talking about contempt. Yeah. And blaming your partner. And just want to make sure we circled back.
Yeah. The most important thing, I guess, that I would say then is this, because you brought that up, honey. Thank you. You can't start the journey to change if that's where you're leading from. You've got to choose who you want to be, the life that you want, and you work backwards, meaning you're full of joy, excitement, laughter. The easiest example is, do you look ripped in your vision? Good, start working out. Like I know that sounds crazy, but it's really true. If you're not relying on your partner's response or reaction, if you just know who you want to be, that doesn't hurt the same way. It doesn't. And that's why we both think we'd be crazy if one of us hurt each other or left each other. Like, we think we'd be nuts.
It'd be nuts. The amount of work that has gone into this marriage.
Yeah.
And the amount of love that's in this marriage.
Yeah.
But even just thinking love aside for a second, the amount of work. Why would you put so much work into yourself and into your partner and into your marriage to let stupid stuff fill you with contempt and bitterness when you have a choice not to feel contempt? You have a choice.
I love that you.
My husband does not like all the animal poop outside that he has to clean up. But you know what? He could choose to be angry about it, or he could remember that he married a woman that loves animals. I can't think of anything that he does right now that makes me angry, but we do think we have things.
Because I grow.
Because he's perfect. But we have things that we could both stew on and get upset about, but you have a choice not to dwell on those things. I saw something really recently, and we're going to end this soon, but it's your brain naturally will pick up. If you tell yourself, I never have good luck, everything bad always happens to me, my life is terrible, your brain looks for reasons to back all of that up. But the moment you start saying, show me how it can be better, show me how life can be better, I want more, your brain starts looking for the better things, the positive things. So it's really important to stay in the positive perspective, because your brain naturally will keep you in negative sentiment override.
I want to give you some homework.
Okay.
I never do this, but I'm going to give you some homework. For the next week, I want you to just think about your day throughout the day. And when it's a good day, I want you to notice when you start to feel like it's a bad day, how you could have had the best day on the planet, because we've all been there. Okay, you got promoted today, but what, you didn't get the response you wanted from your wife? Maybe she was tired with the kids or whatever, and she wasn't as excited as you wanted. You could have the best day on the planet, but we've all turned that into a bad day. So I want you to do this. Look for whatever you think is so bad, this contempt, this resentment, this anger that you're feeling, this bitterness inside, and realize that you are responsible for your choices. You can make that the best day of your life, but it's a choice. What are you going to do with the time that you have today? Because it's not that you have to fix it. And the example I use, by the way, all the time on a call, I'm like, if I'm talking to a man and it goes this way, it doesn't go this way every time, but I'm like, you could lose 50 grand today and you'd be upset. You'd be angry, you'd be bitter, you'd be so miserable, and you'd react, okay? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go, how can I make 100 today to make up for it? If not today, tomorrow. Like, that's it. It's a thought process and a choice, okay? So I want you guys to do that. Look to see how your day is going, how are you feeling, and what is making it go to bad or good, because you're responsible for that choice. All right, see you next time.
Bye.